What's up everyone, my name is ZefpheX and today we will be covering the biggest video game flops of 2019. Trust me, you aren't going to want to miss this, so grab your snacks and enjoy the video. The following list of AAA titles were hyped up to be great releases at launch. However, due to various reasons, they failed miserably. Before we get started, I want to make a quick note that all of this data has been gathered in December 2019 and will definitely change in the future. Sometimes developers fix their games, so by the time you're watching this, these games might actually have good reviews. Number 4. Jump Force received a Metacritic score of 56 and a user score of 4.1 for PS4. Many of the low-score user reviews state that the fighting mechanics are too basic and mediocre at best. The animations are lazy and the story is cliché. However, that's not to say that there aren't defenders of the title. Some users seem to like the combat system, stating that while the campaign is horrible, the game shines in friendly competition. Overall, critics seem to think that Jump Force is a mixed bag and that the sequel needs to be better. At the end of the day, fans were expecting much more from the title and no one really wants to be playing a mediocre game. Number 3. WWE 2K20 received a Metacritic score of 42 and a user score of 1.4 for the PlayStation 4 console. Many report that the game is riddled with bugs, glitches, and missing features that were included in previous iterations of the series. Yikes, or should I say yukes. For the first time in 20 years, the game was developed by a new studio called Visual Concepts. Many users are blaming the studio change for WWE's poor reception by fans. So you might be thinking, is the studio fixing the game? And your answer is actually yes. Multiple patches have been released for the game, with the latest 1.06 patch coming in at a whopping 25 gigabytes. But by now the damage has already been done, so it may be too little too late.
The developers of 2K20, nobody kind of gets out of this with their hands clean, but those guys were working hard. They were given a difficult task. They could not accomplish the task, and then the people above them said, well, we're going to ship it anyway.
This is awful for the franchise, and there is a chance that it could be the last 2K WWE game ever made due to its failure. Number 2.
Ready for another round?
Crackdown 3 received a 54 on Metacritic, followed by an unbelievably low user score of 2.7 for PC. This is undoubtedly one of the biggest letdowns for a video game in 2019. A game that placed fan favorite and celebrity Terry Crews at the forefront.
Time to step up your boom!
And tasked players with defeating a ruthless criminal empire. So what went wrong? According to users, the game had technical issues, including locked 30 FPS cutscenes and co-op gameplay, poor graphics, and boring game mechanics. Crackdown 3 was announced in 2014, set to be released in 2016, and then delayed 3 times. It is clear to see that there were some developmental issues for the title, and at one point there were 3 different studios involved in creating the game. However, even after all of the time and effort spent, many fans were let down. Number 1.
Ready, Javelin 1?
Let's go! You are freelancers.
Once again, another EA title makes headlines for all the wrong reasons. Anthem was given a 54 Metacritic score and a 3.4 user score on PS4. This is by far the biggest video game flop of 2019, one of the most anticipated titles of the year by BioWare and EA with 7 years of development. And even though it may have a higher score than some of the other titles in this list, so many people were excited for this game only to be let down by EA once again. At launch, many felt like the game was still in a beta state due to repetitive gameplay, but there were many other issues including slow load times, a shallow story, bugs, frame rate drops, and various quality of life issues. The sad part about this is many players actually liked the graphics and gameplay, but that is not enough to create a well-rounded video game today. In the months following launch, BioWare has attempted to fix many of the issues surrounding the title, and they are currently working on Anthem 2.0, a huge overhaul of the game. It is possible that Anthem could be revived within the next year, but we will have to wait and see. That concludes my list of the 4 biggest video game flops of 2019. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe for future content, as these videos take countless hours to put together, and your feedback lets me know if I'm doing a good job. I would also like to hear what you think is the worst video game of 2019, so be sure to leave a comment down below. I'm your host, ZefpheX. Have a great day.